told me it was our duty to hold the realm united against a common foe.
My only child.
If you wish me to bear it, then defend me.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Viserys made a number of mistakes during his time as king. He alienated allies and trusted the wrong people. His biggest error was to bring Otto back for a second time as hand. Yet despite all the missteps and miscalculations, he still could have saved the realm and the Targaryens in unnecessary civil war if toward the end of his reign he had named his brother Daemon as hand. To the very end, Viserys supported Rhaenyra as his heir. It was what motivated him to gather the last vestiges of his strength and return to the throne room one last time to protect her.
I must admit my confusion. I do not understand why petitions are being heard over a settled succession.
But it should have never had to come to that. Viserys didn't build the framework that would ensure Rhaenyra's peaceful ascension to power. He left it up to luck and good intentions. It's as if he truly believed that his decisions as king would still have weight after his passing. And Rhaenyra wasn't just any heir. As a woman, there was already some resistance in place in the Seven Kingdoms against her. When you have a divided family with a male heir from his second wife, and that wife's father is your hand, it doesn't take a genius to see a collision on the horizon. That's why the only way he could have completely assured a seamless transition from his reign to Rhaenyra's was to have Daemon as hand. The greatest argument against such a decision would be that Daemon might grab the crown for himself, but this was a myth that developed largely due to Otto working against Daemon and, while his hand, doing everything in his power to turn Viserys away from his brother. Daemon didn't help matters either because he's impetuous, free-spirited, unpredictable, and at times even violent. He makes it easy for others to build up a case against him being anywhere near power. A lot of the problems, though, stem from Daemon feeling that he was never given the respect or consideration he deserved from his brother. The biggest cause of friction, though, was that the two were vastly different. While Daemon was a man of action, Viserys was more cerebral. Because of their many opposite characteristics, they approached things differently and often clashed. But Daemon never challenged Viserys or his rule. After taking the stepstones, he brought the crown back and gave it to his brother. And he never let others speak badly about Viserys while in his presence.
I will not have Driftmark beggared while our king idles himself with feasts and balls and tourneys.
I will speak of my brother as I wish. You will not.
To Daemon, Viserys is still family, and despite any perceived slights, disagreements, or friction they had in the past, they still love one another. Remember the deep loss on Daemon's face when he looked down at his brother's crown? While you could make a case that Daemon wouldn't have been the best person to be hand during his younger years, once he married Rhaenyra, there was no better person to ensure that Viserys' choice to succeed him took the Iron Throne. Most importantly, he's going to be there at King's Landing when his brother passes away. The worst disadvantage for Rhaenyra and Daemon was that they were Dragonstone, and it was easy for the Greens to scheme and set Aegon's coronation in motion. If Daemon is in the Red Keep, then the Greens are going to have to kill him to succeed in their plot. But you can be sure that as hand, Daemon would have had people around him who were loyal. That's one thing he had at the City Watch, strong allegiance from its members. He developed the same thing at court and have eyes and ears everywhere. There's just no way that the Greens are going to be able to make a power play with him around. So much of what happened after Viserys' death, too, was due to Otto being in a position of power. If you simply remove him from the equation, it takes away the Greens' advantage. When Viserys' health was waning, it was Otto who was making decisions and also making things even more difficult for Rhaenyra, using Daemon Velaryon to question the legitimacy of her children. Now imagine Daemon in the same position where his cunning and ruthlessness would stamp out any opposition to Rhaenyra. I don't see how the Greens would even think of mounting a challenge with Daemon as hand. And we can't forget, too, that Aegon was a reluctant king. It took an extensive search across King's Landing to find him and then drag him back. The usurpation of the crown was difficult enough with Otto wielding power. So the choice for Viserys was clear. He needed to make his brother hand in order to ensure Rhaenyra's peaceful, unopposed succession. So why didn't Viserys do it? Well, if Otto hadn't been previously removed his hand, it would have made more sense that he wouldn't want to disrupt things, but after Lionel Strong was killed, it was a clear-cut decision. Daemon or bust. Instead, he chose the worst possible person, the one he had previously removed, too. Maybe it's because his faculties were waning, and his hope, as it was at that final dinner, was that there was some way to bring the whole family together. It was a terrible misreading of the situation, one which would lead to the Dance of the Dragons. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. And if you're interested in more on House of the Dragon and A Song of Ice and Fire, listen to Caraxes and subscribe. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you soon.